Secrets hidden in my old sketchbooks. Come flip through the pages with me into a journey through my oldest to newest sketchbook spreads, where art, memories, and hidden stories are recorded. What's a spread? I'm glad you asked. It's when a drawing boldly crosses the center of the page or when both pages have the same color scheme. The adventure begins on October 2nd, 2007. Yes, that's the oldest page here. Back when flip phones were cool and iPhones were just getting started. Back when Bush was president and we thought that was a trick bag. There are two self-portraits. Witness a pattern. No matter how much weight I gain, whenever I draw myself, I take 20 pounds off. But that's not all. There are ghosts of failed drawings. Many of these spreads are painted over work I once hated. If you look closely, you'll see the layers of failure peeking through. Rest in peace, old mistakes. Look for a blue arrow to point out which pages are cover-ups. There are mandalas and freehand patterns. No rulers, no plans, just flow state sketching when my mind needed a break. There are portraits from strangers in imagination. Some are strangers I saw on IG at Earth's World. Others live only in my head. An ode to pears and other still lifes. I don't know why, but I keep coming back to them. Still life, still learning. There are secret notes, quotes, and many fruit stickers. Sketchbooks aren't just for drawing. They're for collecting life as it happens. Sketchbooks aren't just art. They're time capsules. Quotes, stickers from fruit I definitely didn't eat enough of, and I think there's actually a grocery list. I have chosen only favorite spreads for this video. Even though they hold special places in my heart, some of them are not the greatest artwork. I love them anyway. Many different sketchbooks are represented. Watch how these pages transform over time. Consider liking, subscribing, commenting, or sharing. No pressure though. This reminds me of a story. In 2007, I had been back in Detroit for almost a decade. I was living in the house Big Mama gave me and willfully trying not to spend any of my income on repairs or even bills. I did have income. Sometimes I had 2 jobs, but I felt that a husband should come and take care of every repair and every bill. Living alone in a broken house was a predicament. It was a challenge to get a sincere estimate of repairs as an unmarried woman. It would have been wiser for me to get my uncle or some other male relative to negotiate with plumbers and electricians. Part of the problem was that my motivation to spend my money was small. And another part of the problem was I had a scarcity mindset. I told myself if I didn't have all the money to pay or fix, I might as well spend the money I did have on the things I wanted. I had been delivered from retail therapy shopping, but I had graduated to grocery shopping. Since I gutted the kitchen first thing after moving in, I didn't have a proper cooking space. I had a hot plate and a microwave. So I wasted a lot of money on microwavable food items. The house had a lot of leaky places. So the gas bill was often over $400, and often I would pay only part of it. I was fiscally irresponsible. Finally, the gas was turned off. The bill was astronomical. Of course, since I didn't have the whole amount, I didn't see the value in paying some or saving up to get the whole amount to have it turned back on. Then winter came. I found myself huddled in one room of the house with a space heater. It was so cold that I pushed the space heater close to the couch where I was sleeping. Too close. One night, as I was sleeping with this space heater too close, a pillow fell onto the space heater and caught fire while I was sleeping. I stomped the fire out with my foot while I was still asleep. I woke up dreaming about stomping out a fire, and then I woke up mid-stomp. It was so clearly a miracle. The Lord saw fit to save my life that night. My inner man put that fire out because my outer man was still dreaming. I told only a few people about that miraculous occurrence because the story highlighted the conditions I was living in, and people didn't understand why I didn't move. Years later, when it was even clear to me that it was time to move, I couldn't make myself do it. Looking back at those sketchbook pages, filled with both beauty and imperfections, I see more than just art. I see a season of struggle and survival and divine intervention. That night, God's hand was undeniably on me, protecting me even in my stubbornness. Proverbs 16:9 reminds us, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." I may have clung to self-reliance and lack, but grace met me in that house, teaching me that true provision comes from Him, not just my own efforts and avoidance. These sketchbooks, they're proof that our messiest chapters can become testimonies. Maybe the lesson isn't just to preserve the past, but to learn from it and trust God with the pages yet to be filled. The moral, even in our resistance, God's grace intervenes. Our mistakes and hardships are not wasted when we surrender them to His purpose. That is it, and that is all. If you made it this far in the video, drop a pair in the comments. Thank you for watching.